Well, hey, we are absolutely ecstatic and overjoyed to be back in the tournament. I think for 25th straight time, which we certainly don't take it for granted up at our place and in our program. And to me, that's one of the greatest things we've done during this entire run is to qualify and be part of the greatest sporting event in the world for 25 straight years. And again, I just think I was so proud of our guys. There was a time this year where maybe that thing was in a little bit of jeopardy, and they fought like crazy, last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and put us in great position to get here again. So we're fired up.
John Kuhn, Associated Press. Coach Field, looking at just kind of how the season played out, you obviously had some key transfers that you brought in, a lot of new parts, new faces to mesh together early in the season. At what point did it feel like it really clicked and these guys kind of figured things out and figured out what they needed to do to win and get back to the tournament?
I mean, I think it probably mid-January is it started kind of coming together. I think kind of lost in all this, especially when you have guys that are, leaving for the NBA, and you have an iconic player like a Drew Timme that's just such a huge entity in every facet of your program. There's a real adjustment period, I think, even that I underestimated. And the best thing I could say about this group is they just hung in there. They hung in there and kept working and stayed together. They're a very tight-knit group, and I think staff kind of figured out best schemes, best actions, best things we can do defensively with the group and rotations, and then they started understanding how to play together. I mean, you got to remember Graham Ike didn't play the year before. He took the entire year off, and Ryan Nemhart was new coming in, and guys were playing different roles. We obviously leaned on Anton Watson a lot harder, and he's been fantastic all year. So there was a real adjustment period. We switched up our lineup a little bit then too, and played the three bigs, with Ben in there, and we've been kind of rolling with that ever since.
Hey, Coach, Eddie Pels with AP. We're having kind of a Dan Monson love-in this week, and I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts. First of all, have you ever seen anything this weird the way it played out, and also just kind of your thoughts about him as a coach and a guy?
Well, wow, we could be here all day with all that. But first of all, just couldn't be happier. I mean, there's my wife actually filmed us the last seconds of, it was excruciating, probably the last 30 seconds of the Big West Championship game, when they won, and our whole family was there going crazy. So just absolute pandemonium. I think he's got so many friends in the profession, and obviously families are close, and so fired up. And then when he got sent here, it's a tough one because he's playing another member of the family and Tommy. But we had a great night last night. I tell you, some of those things that are probably every bit as big a moments in your career. We had my whole family, the Lloyds, the Munsons, and then all the people that have worked for us that are intertwined over the years. We were able to get together for dinner last night, and it was great. So he's a great coach. Okay, he's what now? He's led 3 different teams to the NCAA tournament, multiple occasions. He's an unbelievable guy. He's the sole reason why I got into this profession. He got me into it and gave me the opportunity. So my career never would have even happened if it wasn't for Dan Monson. So hey, I think it's a story worthy of a Disney show or something, man, the way it's playing out. And I'm hoping it's a lesson for all those athletic directors out there to maybe take pause once in a while and realize, these jobs are hard, and sometimes when you got a good guy there, you hang with it. So.
Hey, Mark Vahe Gregorian, Kansas City Star. Also related to Dan, I just wonder your thoughts about how he's handled this. It seems to have made a bit of a ripple and a statement in itself, the way he's dealt with it.
It's been unbelievable. I'm so proud of him for that. And I mean, I watched how he's handled it, and I just admire how there's no bitterness whatsoever. He's just handled it in a real classy way. And you know, I mean, I can't say the same maybe for Long Beach State. It's ridiculous. It is, you know, health insurance and things like that. When you lose your job, everybody out there in the real world usually gets an extended deal with, you know, stuff like that for a while and everything. And so I think, you know, I don't want to get into the weeds on that stuff, but it's been remarkable. It's something I think we all can take a lesson from as coaches to kind of, you know, hey, just he's grateful for the experiences he's had, and feels very blessed to have had all these years coaching college basketball, which is, you know, I feel the same way about my career.
Coach, this kind of seems like a little bit of a mashup of styles. You guys run the three bigs. They've got their star guard, a little guy, Shahade Wells. Just kind of, how do you see that playing out? And obviously with Graham as a All-American honorable mention as well.
Yeah, hey, listen, Will's done an incredible job building this program up, and to get 30 wins. And then when you start watching them play, you can see why. Very opportunistic defense that can turn you over, and they like to run like we run, and they can really convert turnovers into baskets. They do a great job with that. Their defense is extremely disruptive. It's not what you see every day. They'll switch everything and swarm to the ball, and you'll see them doubling our posts really hard tomorrow. You know, kind of page out of the you know, Chris Beard when he was at Texas Tech, so we've dealt with it there, and even when we played Baylor a couple times and Texas, you know, so our guys have kind of dealt with it a little bit, but very good there, and then spread you out at the other end, and those guards are lightning quick, and they got some really nice three-point shooters, and then Shoemade inside reminds us a lot of, we have a really good player in our league called Jonathan Mogbo, who can really athletic, explosive around the rim and just dunks everything, and so I think our guys are kind of used to that. So we're prepared for quite a battle. So it's going to be interesting, to kind of a little bit of contrast in styles.
There we go. Alex Fair with the Salt Lake Tribune. What has Nolan meant to your team, especially this season? And considering that he played his high school basketball here in the state, have you seen any extra anticipation for him getting to start the tournament here?
I mean, I don't know about that. He's excited, like our whole team is, to play in, you know, just the NCAA tournament. Obviously, the fact that we were a little bit somewhat out west here, I mean, that's easier for his friends and family to get to. But Nolan's had a really good year. He's grown up a lot. I think he's done a good job of being a little more even-keeled. A lot of times last year he's kind of an emotional roller coaster, usually based on performance. And now he's leveled off a little bit as far as just being there for us night in and night out, irregardless of maybe how his offense is going. So there's been some huge steps leadership-wise and just kind of mental growth-wise.
Yeah, Mark, Bruce Pascoe with the Arizona Daily Star. Just following up on what you're saying before about your guys you've worked with, there was, I think before you moved up to a 5, there was some projections that you and Boise State would be in a 7-10, and then there'd be Long Beach and Arizona in a 2-15. Yeah. Were you worried about that? Do you even think about that kind of stuff?
You know, my kids were all over that stuff, and they were, I mean, hey, look, you don't want to have to play, you know, friends in this deal, and it's hard. And when there's so many, I mean, you got to remember, I mean, my kids and Leon's kids were basically raised together, as were mine and Tommy's kids. And, you know, we have overlap of people working for us, and so we're all big fans of each other's programs and great friends and all that. So, yeah, some of those brackets were like, whoa. And then, heck, you got Tad and Billy, Tad, Billy, and Leon playing tonight. You know, all have connections with me and us and Gonzaga and all that. So, yeah, we seem to be the ones that luckily were unscathed and escaped the Gonzaga family feud or whatever we're calling it. So.
Coach Jay Cashman, KSL Sports Zone. I wanted to ask you, does you guys having played BYU as often as you did during their era in the West Coast Conference help you at all playing here in Utah?
I mean, not really. I mean, I don't know. But, man, they've had a heck of a year. I mean, they've been just exceptional. I mean, basically the same team that was in our league last year, and they've done a great job just on the national spectrum, but also just grinding it out in that league night in, night out. I mean, the only thing I'd say is we're very used to, you know, what we did today. We stay in Salt Lake usually when we played BYU, so we're used to kind of practicing at Utah and you know, hotels and restaurants and everything around here. So.
Yeah, Mark, Steve Rivera, allsportstucson.com. Those of us who covered Tommy for the last 3 years kind of got a feel of who he is. Who was the Tommy you inherited many years ago?
Again, I mean, just a funny story. Like, that was one thing when Dan and I were going through the transition was, you know, last little piece about 2 or 3 weeks in, you know, I just called him like, Munz, what the heck's the deal with this guy? He said you told him, you know, he could be a grad 8 here, and it was unbeknownst to me, and he's just kind of hanging out. So, and he explained that he did, and at that time, you know, Gonzaga wasn't quite as resource rich as maybe we are now, and so, you know, I said great, and you know, I mean, and then it just turned out to just be you know, just the greatest gift ever, right? Because Tommy's had a huge impact on our program and on us, and obviously the relationship, our families, our wives are best friends, our kids are best friends, and all that. So
just a quick follow-up. You're probably not surprised of his success to this point?
Not at all. Yeah, no, not at all. No, not at all. Yeah, he was, and he spent a long, good, you know, and he grew during that time, obviously a lot, and now he's, you know, implemented a lot of the, you know, same kind of style of play and everything we do kind of down there, and it's been such a seamless transition there. It's been really, really impressive.
I could just ask one more annoying Arizona question, but I believe
this is turning into an Arizona press conference here. Let's talk about Lute for a while. Yeah. You want to? Great.
Well, the thing is, like, when Tommy got the job, he inherited a game. He was supposed to play at your place that first season, his first season. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that was postponed. Do you think that game would ever be played, or in light of what you're saying, maybe not?
I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't like playing friends, especially ones that are that close to the program. And so, at this point in my career, I don't know why we'd put our wives and kids through that. So, but who knows?
Hey, Mark, Brennan Quinn from The Athletic. With all, there's anxieties out there about tournament expansion and all of these things, and you know, whether it helps or hurts smaller schools, non-power conference schools. Just wonder if you have any thoughts on the entire discussion that's out there.
I mean, I started this press conference with. I mean, I think it's the greatest sporting event out there. I really, really do, and so I mean, that gives me pause to want to change it. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I also think, you know, everything around us is changing so fast. I read some comments from Coach K the other day that I thought were really, you know, wise, to just like maybe just take a pause and let's see where everything's going before we, you know, just start changing and overreacting. And that I kind of agree with that. That'd probably be the most prudent thing. But, you know, I also know that, you know, sometimes if you're not changing and adapting, you get left behind. So I think we just got to be very cognizant of what's going on and not overreact to everything. We certainly, in my opinion, overreacted a lot in this NIL and transfer stuff, and now we're in a messy spot there. So I think we just got to take a deep breath and wait and see what happens.
There's certainly messaging or concerns, whatever it may be, that there is, a few power conferences making decisions that will impact everyone, 360 plus schools. I just wonder how you feel the non-power conference programs are represented in that conversation.
I mean, I feel great. I talk to Greg Sankey all the time. So, yeah, I mean, hey, first of all, I think he's a great leader, and I think he's very cognizant of that. I think he's cognizant of what's going on and how the effect of basketball is and how the tournament is. So, and certainly, again, I think this thing is so great and so big. I think cooler heads will prevail, and we'll do anything and everything to keep this thing as close as we can to what makes it special. And if we have to make some tweaks, we make some tweaks.
You have a question right there? No, okay. Let's check the Zoom. We have 3 members of the media on Zoom. See if they have any questions for Coach Few. If you do, please use the raise hand button on your Zoom window, and we will turn the time over to you if you have any questions.